All right, it looks like we're live.
I think we're live. You guys, can you hear us? Can you see us?
If you could confirm that that you guys could hear us and confirm the audio, that would really help us a lot, everyone. We want to make sure that everyone can hear us. This is unlike any live stream we've ever done before.
Yeah, this is breaking our hearts all day.
Yeah.
We didn't even plan on doing a video this week. I think we've done one video in the last 3 weeks. But let's start out. Can everybody hear us? Okay,
Nope,
okay,
we got
good.
the
We got it.
confirmation.
Let's start out, with a quick prayer for Gabby's family. And I can't imagine. This is going to be a tough talk, but there's something. Our intent in this whole video today was just to help find Gabby.
Well, and remember that when we started and we published this video topic, there wasn't a body matching her description that had been found at that time. And then literally like an hour before we're going to go live, all this news came out, and it's just so somber that this is a really hard topic to discuss. But I think that those hard topics are really important to talk about. Our original goal when she was still missing was to help find her, to share her face as much as possible on social media.
There's a lot of RVers that don't watch TV, that don't even know that this was going on, that don't do social media, or older people. Mm-hmm. And we thought that by reaching out to the RV Odd Squad, we're all over the country, that we could maybe help find her.
Yeah. And we live in a country where you're innocent until proven guilty, but we also live in a society where social media can really impact perceptions on situations and people. And so our goal is really to have this be a space of somber respect, a honest conversation about safety, security. And our goal is also to bring insights as full-time RVers. We obviously are not police or detectives. We're not trying to solve something that we don't even know about. What we're trying to do is offer that RVing perspective and have a hard conversation about safety.
Yeah.
As well.
So we're going to talk about some tough stuff, having 2.5 years of, even more than that now.
Almost 3 years.
Full-time RVing, and some topics typically that most other YouTubers won't touch. And we think it's important. We've been praying about this all day.
Yeah.
Asking for guidance and direction of how we can help and use our platform for good.
Exactly. And well, the other thing too, we got a lot of flack behind the scenes. We're getting some really mean emails.
Oh my God, we've lost.
People are so mad at us for touching this topic. Maybe they misunderstood our intentions, but I think that it's really important to have this, to not shy away from news. This is, impacting people. And I mean, especially as a parent, I don't know. I think that as a parent, it's very easy to try to put yourself in the situation of her parents. Hard to imagine, but also the first thing that you jump to. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I just cannot imagine. And, first things first, we dove into this today. Mercedes and I just made our way back from Colorado. We've been with family for the last couple of weeks. Yeah. And on our way back, we started hearing a little bit about this. But what's interesting is when we don't watch any TV. A little bit of social media,
very little,
and just stuff, and the titles of the feed would come in for us, and so it piqued our interest, because obviously it's a tragedy.
As
a
fellow nomad,
a fellow nomads, but our country is not the same as it used to be. Mm-hmm. The country has changed, and it's a dangerous place, and there's a lot more. There's a lot more pitfalls and things that you got to be so careful of. And within the YouTuber community, a lot of people only talk about the butterflies and rainbows of RVing, and they motivate people to sell all their stuff and jump into RV full time without really taking the time to do the research. Mm-hmm. And they skip the safety, and they skip this. The dealerships, they're going to build the dream for you. Mm-hmm. But, Mercedes and I have always tried to bring the darker side.
We'll be real.
Yeah.
Show the good, bad, and ugly, warts and all, because nothing is always wonderful and happy. And to be clear, we're not saying that this is the norm RVing. RVing is hard, but we still wouldn't give up the lifestyle.
It's not for everybody.
It's not for everybody. But this has not been the only case of missing person or like, RV or van lifer found missing, like that kind of situation. And we're noticing last year in the summer, there was one or two
Murders.
couples. Yeah. And so
And then there was another murder not too long ago of a couple
that was in the same area. So that was a little weird. And then this situation specifically relating to Gabby, just the way it's unfolded, it really depends what day you're listening to the news, because everything is so here and here. It's like a roller coaster.
Well, you can't believe the news anymore, guys, because these big, and it made us disgusted. We went down the rabbit hole today and have spent the last 4 or 5 hours trying to figure out what's really going on. And it's impossible, because these companies, these big companies, take little 15 and 30-second clips.
Yeah.
Right. And then they show you it and they build this narrative in this story.
Yeah.
And it changes constantly. It's
so
fluid.
much.
And it's it's hard to trust anything anymore. And so what we did was we found the footage of the police officer interview. Yeah. In Moab. Mm-hmm. And we watched it beginning to end. And we went in with ideas because the media, social media, and TV had put these ideas in our heads of what was going on and what was happening.
Yeah.
And then when we started watching that, so we had a preconceived idea of, oh man, this is horrible and this and that and this and that.
Yeah.
Once we watched the hour and 15 minutes of actually what happened when the police pulled them over.
Yeah.
Both of our attitudes completely changed.
I mean, not making the situation any less sad, any less horrible, any less
tragic.
Yeah. Like, I just think as things unfold, you really only see so much. It's like looking at this big, huge picture, but you can only see this much of it. And today, with the recent news of they didn't confirm that it was her. They just said a body matching her description. And they did say condolences to the family, but they also said they haven't 100% identified the body yet, but it's not looking good. Like, let's not, I really want to hold on to that like 1% chance that she's still out there, but
maybe it's not her.
It's just not.
But I can't even imagine what the parents are going through right now.
Yeah, and as a father to 2 daughters,
we had a tragedy in our family last week, but I still have my daughter.
Yeah.
And I can't even imagine what this family is going through right now, and because we create things in our mind of what happens, what would anyways.
Well, and I think also as parents, there's this misunderstanding that it's only something you worry about until like a kid is 18, and then all of a sudden you're not going to worry about them anymore, and you're not going to stress out. And as real parents, it's like, no, you're always going to worry about your kids. And we actually had an RV Odd Squad member 2 years ago that said, hey, I joined this channel. My kid wants to go out RVing, and I want to find out about it. And I want you to convince him not to do it, because he was scared about his son, traveling out on the road.
So it looks like it's been confirmed.
That's what we're getting.
It looks like it's confirmed. She had tattoos that confirmed that it was Gabby. So God bless her and her family.
Yeah, this is so sad. I think that this is not the norm of what RVing is like in the RVing experience. And the RVing experience, just like life in general, is going to be in a spectrum. This is the horrible end of that spectrum. But I do think that when you have something like this happen, especially, I feel a responsibility to our community to talk about those hard conversations and really deep dive on safety and things like that. We had an RV Odd Squad member in the comments that asked about the cell phone coverage, that maybe if there had been cell phone coverage, you could track the phone. We talk a lot about, like, I have a family member that at least 1 or 2 that always knows where I'm at, my location, sharing those kinds of information. So I just, and it's hard because different news is unfolding. All I'm really relying on is what I heard specifically from
disgusting.
Law enforcement.
The media is just disgusting. God bless our first responders. It looks like the FBI, we watched the announcement of the FBI officer, and he was holding back tears, which made us both cry.
I had a lot of compassion for what he was.
Right. Yeah. Delivering that type of news, can't even imagine what that would be like. But unfortunately, we live in a pretty sick society now, guys, and it's very, very important that you take care of not just buying the TPMS and buying all the bells and
the
whistles
floor plan of the RV
and the floor plan of the RV
and the accessories.
You've got to think about safety. One
Yeah.
thing that Mercedes and I were talking about this today. We had an RV Odd Squad member at 6 months. We were 6 months in RVing, and this guy sent us a private message, and it said, I have a son who was 19 years old and wanted to buy an RV and jump into the RV lifestyle. Yeah. He wanted to buy a van. And he said that he was going to pass forward our information because he liked the fact that we were somewhat balanced in what we say, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Mm-hmm. And that guy still sticks out in our mind today. Yeah. That we always tell the truth, And safety is paramount, especially in today's world.
Yeah. And we don't know the specifics of what happened. I mean, only the people there really know what happened to Gabby specifically. But it's definitely a situation where you have to talk about safety. Like, you have to have a safety plan. You have to have contingencies. Heaven forbid you're like stuck on the side of the road. Do you have a little bit of money that you could find another place to stay if you had to? Do you have a way to contact help if you need to? Some of the most beautiful parts of the country also tend to have like the worst cell service ever because they're in the middle of nowhere. I mean, they're absolutely beautiful, the best nature ever. You don't see any telephone poles. You don't see any cell phone towers. It's amazing. But the cost of that is, you don't have
security,
the readily available ability to contact,
to communicate, help. To get help. Yeah. And there's a lot of homeless in our country, and that number's not shrinking, you guys. Yeah. It's exploding. Yeah. And again, back to these YouTube channels that just say it's all beautiful out here and life is wonderful. Full-time RVing is still life. It has its ups and it has its downs. And there's a lot of things you still have to consider that you may not, you may have overlooked. Mm-hmm. You need to always be able to protect you and your family, no matter where you are. Yeah. We did a video on this because we were attacked 6 months in. Yeah. No, your hand is. I'm sorry. No. No, I like where you were talking about. I didn't mean. What was I talking about? You were talking about when that person attacked the RV and we had the bird's nest and we didn't have cell phone service. Your toys. Oh no, we gotta go find them. In a second, okay? All right, okay. See, that's the thing is that your kids are always, they could be 50 years old and that's what you see, the little kid. So we did a video on, we called it 911, and it was our experience because we were new YouTubers. We were 6 months in our journey, and we got attacked because we gave up our location. Yeah. We made some comments in that video about what we thought would help us stay secure. And what's amazing about all the videos we do is we don't do a very good job out here, guys. We've learned a lot, but we make our mistakes and we share our mistakes. Yeah. What we really learn is from you guys in the comments below. If you go to that 911 video and you're thinking about security, that 911 video that we put out, the comments just cover about every single thing you could ever imagine. Having cell phone or a satellite phone. You have to have comms. You shouldn't really RV alone. Yeah. I really don't believe you should be out in the middle anywhere all by yourself. Especially, we had a lot of comments, and we have a lot of solo women RVers, and that's something that I mean, can you imagine solo? That's a whole other level of I think strength. To have the courage to do that. That's super strong and super cool. But you have a whole other risk of things that you have to work on. And then also what stinks about this is that it's looking like it was a domestic situation. Again, innocent until proven guilty, but this isn't looking good. And it sucks for everyone involved. Both sets of parents are, I just can't imagine. Just guys, the best I can tell you is don't trust anything the media tells you anymore. Yeah. Go in. We're actually at the end of this video. We're going to link, and we put a link below. This is not monetized. We don't have any affiliate links. Yeah, we have completely demonetized this video. Yeah, our goal here is really just to get the information and talk about the things that typically people don't think about.
Yeah.
You know, they glorify the RV lifestyle.
Yeah.
Right. Like I said,
it's all s'mores,
rainbows and
campfires.
butterflies. Yeah. And, you know, especially the younger generation, they all want to be YouTubers and write blogs, you know, and they jump in not having all the knowledge they need to be safe out there.
Yeah. Well, and that's the other thing too, is that so it's an hour and 16 minutes, because it's not cut up. It's just the body cam footage from the police officers when they were called in for the domestic disturbance that happened about a week prior to when they think she went missing. Obviously, this is all hype, you know, I wasn't there. I don't know. I'm just relaying what I've heard. That body cam footage was very interesting. It takes a really long time to watch it because it's literally the camera's on the entire time.
It's the facts. It's the facts, you guys. So instead of wasting time with lies and cooking at this platform and that platform and this Lion news station, go watch the facts. Go watch the body cam footage. It's an hour and 15 minutes. Watch that footage and make a decision for yourself. Yeah. Do the hard work.
Yeah.
You know, don't trust somebody just because they say it's true. That's just not the way it is anymore. Mm-hmm. But we went in with a certain amount of prejudice, thinking because the narrative's been, you know, all we see is what we see on the internet, or we don't watch TV again. But
no, it's just, I think the other piece too is that difficult conversation about safety. In some ways, it's a little bit more safe to be to nomadic living. See, when you're nomadic, you don't know when you're in a good part of town or a bad part of town. When you're nomadic, you don't have anyone to you may be in a place where you have nobody. At least when you're in the town that you have a job at and you go to the grocery store and et cetera, like you have some human connections within your hometown. But when you're really nomadic, that just adds a whole level of self-resilience for sure. But also it adds a whole level of safety concerns that you have to look out for. And I can't tell you how many times we've been in horrible parts of town, but haven't even noticed it. We've been kind of oblivious. Or you have some communities that there's like one section of town that's a really rough section of town. The other town is really good. And there's like no real dividing line. It's not like really far from one another. So you could be in harm's way and not even realize it. And then you add and compound that with like out of state tags, right? So everyone knows that you're not from there.
Right. Or how about this one? You can RV for under $1,000 a month and be happy, and all your problems will go away.
Just move in a van.
Just quit your job, get a van, go, you know, or an RV. And I'm not saying it won't work. It's just, you really have to have those hard conversations with your partner about what you're comfortable with, right? What you're going to do, because being in a small space for long periods of time can drive you cuckoo. Guys, we've had this platform now coming up for almost 3 years. We've received close to 100,000 emails. I don't know how many comments we've responded.
On our videos.
And we've heard the worst of the worst stories. One of the things we do now when we meet people on the road and they say, "Hey, you helped us start how to learn how to RV," and I say, "Don't blame us." You know, because you don't know how it's going to turn out.
Yeah, and while this situation does look like it's more of a domestic one, the idea that RVing will fix all of your relationship issues needs to be smashed, right? RVing will highlight more of what's already there. Like life becomes magnified. So who you are, you take yourself with you wherever you go, right? And so you take your relationship flaws and all with you wherever you go. And hopefully you're able to in the journey, go back to back against the world and really connect and really become a team, right? And not go against each other. But it's hard when you're living in a small space and the person you love is driving you crazy. I mean, today was a hard day for us.
We had a brutal day.
I almost cried a couple times. I didn't cry, but I almost did. And I'm not saying that in a bad way. I'm saying that to relate.
About this.
This was also, but I mean, I think it's important that people not paint the picture of perfection.
Of how beautiful it is.
I mean,
you know, you can do it for $1,000 a month, but can you are you the type of person for $1,000 a month means you're going to be boondocking in places that are isolated and free, right?
Yeah.
Which is fantastic. You may not be taking a shower for long periods of time.
Yeah.
You may be pooping in a bucket.
Yeah, some
You know,
of them
it's
really,
being
yeah.
honest enough with yourself and your spouse, your partner, okay, to have the tough conversation about
Yeah.
what you can do and what you can't do.
Because the reality is that the more money you have to spend on an RV and the utilities and the hookups for RV living, the more comfortable your journey is going to be. And what breaks my heart is that it looks like this is a situation of kids like really trying to make it. And I mean, you know what it's like to be a kid and just it's a heartbreaking situation because at the end of the day, we all like. There's a part in the really long video where she talks about how she's trying to grow her blog and how she's trying to like build.
She wanted to be a YouTuber.
Yeah, and so when I hear that, and then she also has a video out, and it's all the dream, and it's all.
And she
beautiful.
did a great job in the video.
She's a really good editor.
They showed the beautiful, right? You see it all
Yeah.
over everybody. Just the happiness of what the RV life is. It's not like that all the time.
Well, even her video, it was showing these amazing, beautiful landscapes, and here we are today with this horrific situation, and my heart just goes out to her parents, whom I think the topic needs to be super respectful because you don't know who's watching. And if her parents were watching this right now,
God bless you.
I would want them to know that like just pure love
Yeah.
and not, I can't even pretend to know, just love, because there's situations that are so ugly that really no words that you can say will make it any better. You can't fix it. But that doesn't mean you don't have the hard talk.
Right. And don't watch 3-minute clips that people serve up to you. Go in and watch the whole hour and 15 minutes, guys. Take the time. Or don't look at anything because they're going to be feeding you what they're feeding you what gets clicks, guys.
Yeah.
The big companies are making millions off this story, and it's pissing me off. Yeah. When we went in today and I'm trying to get the information, every 30 to 45 seconds on some of these channels, there was a video, an advertisement. Yeah. And it's like these tragedies where people's hearts are broken should not be able to be monetized. But we live in a world now where it's about clicks. Yeah. And they take clips and they build a story, and there's so many different stories. But when we went in and we actually just looked at the kids and what was going on, we knew they were in trouble. Yeah. We knew they were in trouble. I can't imagine my kids. Yeah.
The struggle. And when you're young and relationships not good, you don't have the hard experience under your belt to like navigate that in a good way.
Now, these kids were together 3 years. So, I actually found out a lot of facts just by watching the police's body cam stuff without having the media tell me what it is in 5 or 6 second clips.
Because that's not life. Life is not like a pure villain and a pure, victor. That's not how it works. Like life is very gray, and we're all just doing the best that we can with what we have. And
we're all different. We're all different. We love the RV lifestyle. We have no interest at this point in building a house and going back home. We love the RV lifestyle.
Yeah. This is the campground, by the way. We got some comments saying like, you're in a house, and it's like, well, it's the rec center.
Actually, it smells a little musty and moldy in here right now.
The internet's good.
We got good internet, so we're down here and we got a light on, and that's about it.
Yeah.
But it's a place where Seiji can be safe while we talk to you guys about this stuff.
Yeah, it's just hard because things are unfolding, and it depends what.
Now, see, this is what pisses me off right here. This guy right here.
Well, don't give him more attention.
No, right here. No, this guy right here. Body cam is hard to watch. Officers handled it with, not that one. Where's the guy?
I agree with that.
Yes, I agree with that 100%. Where's the guy?
I don't know, but I don't see anybody saying.
He's blaming the police.
Oh.
He's blaming the police. But you know what? I bet the guy that just made that comment hasn't watched the whole thing.
Yeah.
The police handled this situation absolutely.
I have a lot of respect.
The best they could. Okay. Yeah. And you know what? I bet you a lot of you don't even realize that the police made them separate.
Yeah.
Okay. And the kid decided to be the one to go to a hotel. And that's when, anyways.
No, that's why I think.
Let's blame the police, right? No, let's blame the police. Let's defund the police, whatever.
So I think the other thing too, though, is that you can have two people watch the same thing and they pick up completely different things from it. Okay, you found the comment that you didn't like.
Yeah, that's just such a
That-
nomadic wrencher. You haven't, just go watch the hour and 15-minute
It's an
video
hour
and
and
stop
15
believing
minutes.
the crap that you saw on
Yeah.
Facebook.
Well,
Because it wasn't the cops did an amazing job at handling both these kids. They were both in trouble.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a
Watch it yourself. We don't want to prejudice you with our opinion of the video. All I can tell you is we had ideas and we were upset and slanted one way. But when we watched the unedited stuff only, nothing else, no narrative, right? No talking heads, right? We actually started to switch a little bit and everything changed.
Yeah.
And that's reality. The truth is going to eventually come out. And all this stuff right now is just, makes so many,
Yeah, well, so I love it when you get passionate. I think that I hear you loud and clear.
the police did an amazing job. I bet you $100 that guy did not watch the video.
Yeah, well, it just sucks. It just sucks, you know? And so I think that it's hard enough to
Let's find somebody to blame.
no, well, and I think we're getting apologies, John, so I think that
So the rancher guy's okay now?
you know, he's apologizing.
Yeah. Man, please go watch the body
Yeah.
footage, the body cam footage. Those kids were in trouble.
Yeah.
And those police officers were doing the best they could to help them.
And I have a lot of respect.
And I promise you, just watch it remove the media from it. Watch the stuff that really happened. And
because
all
it's
of
not
you,
what you expect.
it's not what you expect. The way you think right now, if you have not watched that whole video, will completely flip over if you watch the video.
That said, then we had the events of today and a body matching her description being found. And it just sucks because I was really hoping that there was a chance that, you know, she'd be found and he'd be found. And, you know, it's just, there's no winning. Like, this is a situation where there's only losers. And it really sucks with them being so young. Well, it's not fair.
Yeah, and pray for both families, guys. Yeah. Pray for both families. This whole thing, these kids should not have.
It's a hard.
They didn't have enough life experience to be doing what they were doing.
Yeah,
that's all I can say.
Yeah. And we've been warned that it looks like there might be a couple people in here that are taking this and turning this into like a little bit of a debate of other issues. And it stinks because we're not trying to talk about outside issues. We're trying to talk about like RVing as a community and safety and bring attention to
that's my fault. I'm sorry. I apologize.
No, there's other people doing it too with other issues that, you know.
Linda Cherry, if you look down below this video,
the description.
Look for the description below. You usually have to hit show more.
Yeah, and
then there's a link there of the actual footage of what really happened, and then you'll see. Yeah, your mind will change about so many things.
But that video, they do have ads on that video, even though it's unedited. But I'm guessing, and I'm really hoping that because YouTube reserves the right to add ads, I'm praying that's what happened because it's a news station, and I don't know if the news station would try to monetize.
NBC, CNN, Fox, all of them. Yeah. We try to find one with just the body cam footage
without any ads.
Again, the sad thing here is companies are making billions of dollars off this tragedy.
Yeah, hold on, I'm losing my voice.
I gotta go check on her. She's. You okay?
Yeah. I just lost my voice. Yeah, our intention. Oh my gosh, I really just lost my voice. I think that the other piece that is really important is that we're not trying to paint the entire RVing experience as like, this is what happens if you full-time RV. But I think that it's not just this type of situation as far as like losing one's life due to a horrible, tragic crime. RVing is, you know, dangerous, essentially having a vehicle that weighs tons and tons and driving around the road, a road you've never been before, when it's really possible that there could be switchbacks and all sorts of other things that you're not ready for. I definitely feel like I feel like this situation is really important because there's comments about, hey, there's other missing kids as well. I think the reason we're talking about this situation though is just because she was a member of the RV community, and so it hits home. But that's not trying to take away from all the other kids that have been missing as well. Looks like
exactly, Pamela B. There are so many. It's all speculation right now, guys.
mhm.
We just don't know.
Yeah. Oh, Seiji. She's and this is what's hard is that then you look at your kid. We had a tough day, but I can't complain. Aww.
We watched, guys. We spent the morning watching. We've had somebody camping with us that is an RV Odd Squad member who has been following us for a year. Mm-hmm. He went out and he bought the RV and he bought all the bells and whistles and he's got a plan, and him and his girl were ready to take off on their RV adventure. This was the first campground that they've been at since they started. Yeah. And now they've set out for 6 weeks on a journey, right? And it's so funny because they had such a great plan. They did everything right, but RVing is life. It never goes as planned. What did Mike Tyson say?
Oh, everyone has a plan.
Everyone has a plan till you get punched in your face. And when you RV, you're going to get punched in the face.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing goes smooth. You can do all the planning. I mean, and Mercedes and I go back and forth in this all the time.
Yeah. Okay. This is shaking. The whole thing is shaking.
Right. I won't touch it.
No, it's not. Yeah. I'm not trying to stop Madonna. You from talking. It's
go
just
ahead.
Shaking too much.
I got it.
Okay. So a lot of people have been asking, has she been found? So a body matching her description has been found. It's not 100% confirmed.
It is 100% confirmed now because of tattoos.
Yeah.
Yes.
And they were sending the condolences to the family upon that announcement. And this literally just started just now. So she's so cute. She just wants to join everyone. The other piece that I think it's really important to know is that if you look at videos on the topic, sometimes the videos that have the most views are older, and so they don't have all the information. So if you look at some of the older videos, they could be back before he was missing, and then I guess.
Yeah, I don't know if you know this, but he's reported missing now.
Yeah, so it's
who knows what the truth is.
Exactly. So,
everybody's saying hi, Sage.
Yeah.
Sagey's getting lovin's.
Yeah, and this also hits. We're getting a lot of questions about how Colorado was. Colorado was rough, but it's not as rough as this.
Yeah.
This puts it all in perspective.
Yeah, we've asked permission. Our daughter suffered a miscarriage. Our older daughter, Mackenzie, suffered a miscarriage, and we found out about this literally the night before we went there. We got the news. We actually posted it or talked about it to our private community, and then a few hours later, we got the phone call that they lost the heartbeat. And Mackenzie's been trying for 2 years to have this. So God had it made in such a way that we were there right when we were supposed to be there for Kenzie. But it was an emotional roller coaster. Obviously, we were only supposed to go for a week. We ended up staying for 2 because we needed to. Yeah. She was. She faced a pretty serious trauma, but love, pray.
It was like 2 steps forward, 2 steps back, 2 steps forward, 2 steps back. So at the end of the day, you're kind of in the same place, but you're not the same person anymore. Yeah. It was a lot.
Because at the end of it, we were both in tears because how happy we were. We watched many things unfold. We watched God work in Kenzie's life and
our family's life.
Our family's life, and everything kind of worked its way out, and everything is as it should be. We got to trust that everything is exactly how it should be.
Yeah. She's like, I like seeing my face on the video. You making faces, honey? Yes. So the other piece about Colorado that I think let me know if you guys would be interested in this, is that we flew there, but we drove back. And we didn't have an RV. We grabbed the Jeep. It was supposed to be a really quick trip. It ended up taking a lot longer, but it was necessary.
A lot longer? I left Thursday morning, guys, and I got here.
I'm talking about our stay in Colorado.
Oh, Oh, yes.
He's insulted. He thinks I'm talking about his driving prowess.
I
No.
think that was one of the toughest things about leaving Alabama and dropping into Colorado.
You wanna go play?
No.
It's okay, honey. Just don't worry about the table shaking. It'll be all right.
Yeah, it's just shaking a lot.
One of the things that was very difficult for us when we were in Colorado is Colorado's changed so much. That's Mercedes' home state. She's a Colorado native.
Yeah.
And I mean, God, it's a negative world. Everything's kind of changed. Everybody seems mad. Everybody's in a rush. The population is through the roof. We think and we're not used to being in heavily populated areas. We like the seclusion that we experience when we RV full time. And it's always a little bit of a shock when you're out in the middle of nowhere for a couple of months and then you drop into society where the populations are heavy. They just seem to, it's almost like this mental illness that goes on when you squeeze too many people in a small spot.
Yeah, let us know if that's something you guys want us to talk about, because our findings, like just the experience of being through so many different places and having, it's just really eye-opening. And it's you can't have the perfect place, you know, that has, it's big enough but like secluded enough. The perfect place in my world doesn't have traffic, but it has enough shopping.
The traffic's extremely weird. And then the other thing that's going on in Colorado is, you know, with the panorama, there's this thing, it's called the Colorado cough. And it's like everybody has this like really weird, like deep whoop of a cough. And which just really strange, and everybody's got it. And I guess it's been going on for 6 to 7 weeks. Mercedes didn't get it, but I got a little bit of it, you know. That was a little bit strange, but you know, we're happy to be back where we are, and we're getting back to work here. Today was a kind of a re-entry day for us, and of course, today was a tough day.
Hard.
Today was a
we
tough
were
day.
not on the same team.
We were not gelling. We were fighting.
We had different ideas on what to do.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you want to go out or you want to stay? Okay.
Okay, don't touch the table, honey.
Try not to touch the table because
Thank you.
It's driving mommy crazy.
It's totally driving me
I know.
crazy. And he's like,
all right,
it's
I'll hold her
fine.
back. You talk.
It's fine. Well, I don't know. I mean, like, are we doing a video on Colorado, or
Honey,
is this
stop
where we
kicking
talk
the
about
table,
Colorado?
and mommy's not going to be able to do that.
I can't concentrate and see this thing shaking at the same time.
And it's not bothering me at all.
Yeah, he's fine. Well, that's the thing though, that John is like my complete opposite. And I think the other piece too is that going to see family, we noticed how tired we were. I mean, he's literally I
slept on the I'm a little tired.
John needs to learn like how to fall asleep at night, because he like works so hard, and the poor guy
There's just so
like,
much going on in the world, and I like to keep, you know, a little bit plugged in, and it's really hard to find the truth.
a lot of it plugged in. He's lying.
It takes me a long time to dig up the truth, because we certainly hard to find.
Yeah. We're getting asked some questions about, was Gabby a YouTuber? Yeah, she had a YouTube video, just one though.
Yeah,
So,
she had a degree in
I think she studied like nutrition, but
nutrition degree. She was
yeah.
working at like a healthy shake shop.
Yep.
They thought Gabby wanted to start a YouTube channel and a blog. And the first video that she put up was great. I thought it was a fantastically edited video. Yeah, very beautiful little girl. And again, God bless her family. Our prayers are with you. We've been praying for the both families for the last couple of days.
Yeah, it's just so sad.
Yes, it is probably a good meeting. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're pretty tired, and I'm really glad though that we're able to talk to our people. That's something that I guess what we would tell you is it's not all rainbows and butterflies, guys. Selling all your stuff and buying an RV is not going to fix all your problems, and you're not going to find paradise. There's no such thing. There's only one paradise, and it's not here. It's in heaven, I believe. You just need to be fairly healthy. And I believe that you should have, for us, what's helped us in the tough times is our relationship with God, right? you need to have And you need to have a routine with that relationship. Like it can't be something like just those prayers, when things hard. You need to have a routine.
Yeah.
And
remember, one thing that we know for sure, just from experience, from what people have shared with us in emails and in comments, the smaller the space, it's like a pressure cooker. And so some people love van life. We rented a van for 1 week, but it was tight. It was me, Sage, Mercedes, and Skippy. But it was tight. And
it's hard when you're in a really small space. The van was harder. I mean, there are times where, you're not getting along and the van feels so, well, the RV, we have a 40-foot RV, and there's times where we're not getting along and it's like, it's not big enough. I need more space, It's really important to keep those habits where, you get outside and you have space, walk in nature, and some time away from one another too, so that you can decompress on your own. We're getting a lot of questions on the chickens.
Oh, the chickens. The chickens. Mercedes was more worried about the chickens than anything else when we were traveling.
Yeah, I was pretty worried about the chickens.
Do you want me to take her out and play with her so you can relax and talk?
Yeah, I'm struggling.
All right, come on. Yeah. Let's go.
She should have her cartoons too.
Go ahead.
All right. The chickens, well, a couple things. We lost a chicken. A neighbor's dog went on the property. 2 dogs actually went on the property. I had the chickens out. The 2 dogs started circling the RV. Skippy was trying to protect him, but it wasn't quite working. One of the dogs grabbed the chicken, ran across the street, back home, brought the chicken back home. The chicken was gone. So I went to get another chicken. We were going to call that chicken number 2. Sage decided to give it another name. So the chicken that we lost, his name is Carib, and the one that the new one's called Kara. But then Kara and Susie started fighting because I guess chickens are very not territorial, but they have a matriarchy. They're very rank based. So it wasn't really good. And then on top of that, we left. So the chickens went from giving us 2 eggs a day to nothing. And hopefully they give us eggs soon, because I think losing the one chicken was pretty traumatic. So yeah. Heads up, everyone, if you want to ask questions, put them in all caps so we can catch them. I just saw this comment. The pecking order is real. Yeah, chickens have a hierarchy, and the alpha chicken was lost. So then number 2 became alpha, and she's kind of a rude alpha. She's a really, really rude alpha. So, let's see. All right, there. Yeah, it's a pecking order. That's exactly what it is. So I'm looking at our notes because John and I have spent the whole day really talking about this whole situation. And then the stakes really it became so hard to talk about this when the news came out about them finding a body that matched your description. And the reality is that we're like, oh my goodness, this is the worst possible news and the worst possible time. But I almost feel like it's even more necessary to talk about it. So that's our intentions with that. Linda, you asked if we got our RV roof fixed yet. Not yet. The insurance company has been amazing. The problem that we're having is everyone is really busy and they're scheduling for months out. So that's really, really frustrating. Let's see. Looks like you guys are having a conversation about the chickens. So that's good. I appreciate John getting Sage out of, because it drives me crazy when the whole thing is moving. We're streaming from Thunder Canyon in Alabama, and we're inside what's going to be the rec center. The internet is really, really good here, so that's why we're doing this right now. The campground is a lot of work. We should probably do an update video on that. It's a lot. And we just got back. So it's just, we're still navigating our way through.
Yeah. And I'll tell you this, we were really, really excited to get back home. It feels like we're home. Yeah. One of the coolest things about everything for me is that the whole journey on YouTube. The 2.5-year journey, I've kind of grown closer and closer to God. And I think both of us can say that.
Yeah. Oh, okay. We're getting some flack. I need to get rid of the shirt and get an Auburn shirt.
Oh, here we go. Thank you.
That's funny. And then we were asked if we had a rooster. No rooster.
No rooster. Rooster.
Yeah. No rooster. But I don't think I want.
Hamster, that dark.
Yeah.
Do you want me to disappear again, or
No, I like you here. It's just I like you here. I just
one of the things we got to do in Denver, we got to go out and have dinner together, guys.
Yeah,
all
we
by
went on our first
ourselves.
date.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh, we gotta be quiet.
Yeah. So it was nice going out on a date. And we just told her, we're going out on a date. You're staying with grandma. And she's like, okay. She no separation anxiety. And we did really good. We didn't, you know how normally you just talk about the kid because
Good night, Van Life Voyages.
We were able to do a good job.
Yeah. So I don't know who gave us $200. That was not necessary. We would give you a link to help Gabby's family, but the truth is we don't know which one's real and which one's not. These fundraisers, everything's a scam nowadays, you guys. So we'll take that money, and when we do figure out where it needs to go, we'll send that money to Gabby's family or send some flowers from the RV squad if that's okay with you.
Yeah, do something. It's tricky though because you don't know. Just because there's a GoFundMe doesn't mean that it's necessarily that you can trust it.
Yeah.
All right. Is there anything else you wanted to talk about, sweetheart?
I think that's about it. If you guys have any other questions, or
I think
God bless Gabby's family. God
Yeah.
bless his family.
Yeah.
We're not going to really say his name until we know what happened. But guys, just try not to be prejudiced by other people's beliefs. Do your own homework.
Yeah. And be nice to one another. We're all going through a lot.
Yeah. The whole world's upside down. Everybody's stressed out. We really noticed that in the heavily populated area of Denver this week. It was kind of uncomfortable to be there, and we were happy to get the heck out of there, to be quite frank. We're going to miss our family.
Yeah.
All we can say is thank you for all the love, prayers, and support that you gave us last week on this thing. Thank you again, Ken. All that money will go to Gabby's family somehow. I guess outside of that, if you guys don't mind, can we just do a quick prayer for Gabby's family, for everybody involved? Father, we ask that you guide and direct Gabby's family and his family, that you bring healing and solace and closure. Say amen.
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 Well,
See you guys later.
We see you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.